The Romans are fast approaching the crossing, and the Armenian archers are still walking.
What we have going on out here is a race. The team is going to try to contest the crossing, and that means they have to get within at least shooting distance of the crossing. The Romans want to walk across. I should see a crowd of Armenians heading for that ford, light forces and cavalry to screen the ford. The cataphracts were close enough to screen the ford. But what do I see instead? I see the Romans in 3 lines ready to walk across the river, and nobody on the Armenian side of the river ready to stop them.
They're all moving forward towards the crossing.
Do we need the archers to run?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Make the archers run.
At last, the team realize the urgency of their position and send their archers running towards the hill. But without backup, what did the team hope to achieve with this one small unit? And meanwhile, the Romans are ready to cross at the ford.
We may need to engage them before they get across. We're miles away.
What worries me is that Billy's just said we need to engage them before they get across. It sounds like they're trying to stick to the plan, and I don't think the plan is any longer workable.
There's a tremendous temptation to fixate on process, to fixate on the plan rather than on the mission. And the team has to get past that plan, that unrealistic plan that they developed at the bird table, and they have to look at the situation, assess it, and they've got to change their concept of operations. They've got to change it now.
Well, just bring everyone forward, please.
Okay. Have we moved the infantry? Or...
No, we haven't.
No. They need to move towards the ford as well.
We've brought all of the units that I was in command over moving forward.
At long last, the team realize they need to mobilize all their troops. But is this now too late?
They're being far too ambitious in terms of the way in which they can move their troops over ground. And what I'm worried about is the army's going to be strung out and taken in detail.
The Romans are mobilizing to cross the river. The first troop will be the 1,000-strong barbarian cavalry.
They're sending cavalry in.
Attack them with archers?
Archers.
Yeah, archers.
The archers reach the hill just in time. But are they exhausted from their frantic dash across the desert? The unstoppable Romans send their cavalry across the river.
We're in range to shoot with the archers now.
And what about infantry? Do we have infantry to support them?
Infantry are coming up behind now.
We just need infantry there.
They're running in.
Hopefully we'll draw them along the plain, and as they go along the plain we will fire down at the peasants.
We're asking ourselves over and over again, why are they sticking with this obsolete plan? Why do they still think that they can get their forces in position to oppose the Roman crossing when the Roman crossing has already begun? I'll tell you why. Nobody on the team is looking at the big picture.
Apparently unaware that the Armenians outweigh them 10-1, the Romans send their cavalry onto the exposed plain. The first engagement of the battle is about to begin. This error by the Roman command gives the archers their first taste of blood.
Well, that seems to have been successful. They've scarpered.
Without any support from Roman troops, the cavalry retreat out of range of the Armenian archers. But the Roman commander, General Lucullus, is not intimidated by this small number of enemy troops and continues with his objective to ford the river. He sends his light infantry across.
The Romans are not at all fazed by this crossing. The Romans are just doing another day's work. This is an almost professional couple of Roman legions coming up here. And the Romans are just doing what they do every day.
The Romans might find this crossing easy, but the Armenian archers have the high ground and could take the advantage.
Archers, fire on that group, please.
Can we get the archers to fire again? The archers are firing.
The Armenian archers aim their arrows on the Roman infantry crossing the ford and start firing. The relentless barrage from these Armenian key troops begins to cause confusion within the Roman ranks. Although this onslaught makes only a small dent in Roman numbers, the team's strategic plan appears to be paying off. The Romans have no time to regroup into battle formation. The Roman general commits his troops. He takes the unusual step of sending his infantry up the hill to take out these seemingly isolated archers. Traditionally, Romans prefer to fight their battles on the flat, in strict formation. So can our team play this tactical error by the Roman general to their advantage?
So our forces haven't formed themselves yet.
If we don't put some infantry in front of the archers, the other group's infantry will just slaughter our archers straight away.
I know. That's what I said. I said put infantry in front.
I think it's a classic case of paralysis because they're inexperienced. They had a plan, they're determined to stick to it, they can see that things are going a little awry. The Romans are already across the river, they're worried that their plan is not going to work.
Let's have the infantry protect the archers and have the archers concentrate on the people who are crossing the water.
So you want all the infantry to come...
And protect the archers. Protect the archers.
But it's too late. The huge Armenian infantry are still nowhere near the hill.
Can you just keep the archers firing at them?
But the Romans keep coming. The first unit of archers, without skills in arm-to-arm combat, have no protection against the superior skills of the Roman heavy legion. The Romans launch their first offensive on the hill with devastating effect. They wipe out the majority of the Armenian first unit of archers.
Despite the errors that they've made so far, all is not yet lost. They may still win this battle. And the reason they might win it is because they have a huge majority of troops over the Romans. And if they can keep them out of trouble for long enough and not allow them to be defeated in detail, they may eventually overcome the Romans.
Do we want to use the cataphracts yet?
The cataphracts are right at the back doing nothing.
Where do we want the cataphracts?
Let's keep them back for the moment. Let's use slingers on both of those.
Despite their archers being routed, there seems to be disagreement amongst the team about how they use their main key troops, the cataphracts. Will it be all over before they see any action at all?
I just thought that we had a superior number advantage over them, and it was just to try and reduce their numbers some more.
And then
I
move them forward.
If you want to attack with them, attack with them. I don't care.
Don't take my word for it, seriously.
You could attack with some of them and see what impact they have.
Yeah, I don't think you should attack with all of them. Are we bringing half of them or
You
just...
can bring half of them over. It's your choice.
Yeah, half of them.
Ooh. Emma suggested that they fritter away their cataphracts and dribs and drabs. One of the great armored theorists of the 20th century, Heinz Guderian, used to say, not with a drizzle, but with a downpour. And that is the way that Guderian felt you needed to use your shock arm, your decisive arm. Guderian was talking about tanks. Those cataphracts have got to be used en masse in order to achieve the battlefield effect that they're designed for.
Now, what will the Armenian team do with their strongest troop, the cataphracts?
Bring half of the cataphracts forward.
And bring them round and have them attack from behind
Where do we want the cataphracts?
We want